Whether you're having a not moving off the couch while you watch the game kind of day, or a no time between conference calls kind of day, it can still be a delicious Dunkin' kind of day. And with Dunkin' now available on DoorDash, it's easier than ever to get your faves brought right to your door. So if you're looking for coffees, donuts, and breakfast sandwiches in the morning, craving some afternoon snack and bacon, or in need of Dunkin' refreshers for a PM pick-me-up, we've got you covered. Order now and get your faves brought to your door through Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. Price and participation may vary. Exclusions apply. America runs on Dunkin'.
The sweet aromas of the apple fritter, cinnamon roll, and blueberry muffin are hard to resist. So making it the rest of the way home without reaching in your McDonald's bag is no easy task. But nothing worth doing is easy.
Wake up and pair any one of these sweet, fluffy, frittery bakery treats with a McCafe iced coffee. Get any size and any flavor for just 99 cents until 11 a.m. Price and participation may vary.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This episode of the podcast is sponsored by Grammarly Premium. You can get a 1 month free trial of Grammarly Premium. Also, thank you to vidIQ for sponsoring today's show. Get your free trial of vidIQ. Click on the link in the description. And thank you to Amazon Music Unlimited for sponsoring today's show. All you need to do is visit my website to find out more. Welcome to the Stephen Shiels radio show. Sonic Yogi is back on. How are you?
Great to be here. I'm doing well. Thank you, Stephen. How are you?
It's good. What's been happening since we last spoke?
Well, let's see. I've been, working on some new music, creating for my site and for Insight Timer, and just released a new sleep track today.
Mm-hmm.
So those are some of the things I've been working on.
How much work goes into releasing your stuff for Insight Timer as well? And do you do all your mixing and editing yourself?
Yes, I mix and edit everything and record it myself. So I would say a single track could take probably up to around 10 to 20 hours.
Wow. That's a lot. It's a lot of work that goes into it. That's the main thing. Do you publish it to multiple platforms?
Yes, usually. There are some things that are exclusive to Insight Timer, but I also publish to my website and also SoundCloud, and then I also release to things like Spotify and Apple Music as well.
That's really good. And have you been playing any classical guitar yourself?
A little bit. I've been experimenting more with the live sessions for Insight Timer.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been doing those once a week. And for those sessions, I've been creating new improvisations.
Mm-hmm.
And I normally start with guitar. So what I've been doing is sort of fusing the guitar improvisations with the sounds of the bowls.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been a bit of an experiment, and having fun seeing where that goes.
That's really good. Are you planning to do any meditations with classical guitar?
Yes, I will at some point. I've released a few tracks to Insight Timer with guitar, and they're a little bit more musical than they are meditations.
Mm-hmm.
And when I create a meditation, I really think about the musical or sound therapy properties of the track, and I want to make sure that it's interacting with our brain waves and helping to get into that space. And so I'm thinking of releasing a set of sort of like chakra guitar meditations,
Mm-hmm.
With one in each key, and really making it focused more on those meditative qualities rather than musical qualities.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be cool to hear some more guitar work from you, I think, on Insight Timer.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'd love to share more in that vein. So I'll keep you posted as I finish some of these new tracks.
Other than that, in the United States, I've been hearing it's been very cold in the US as well.
Well, we definitely had a cold break a couple or a few weeks ago. You may have heard about Texas freezing over.
Yeah. Los Angeles as well.
Yeah, which is unusual because that's in the southern part of the country. However, this week it has warmed up, and I'm in Georgia, and we're starting to get some spring weather, seeing some flowers come out and things like that. So.
Yeah, do you have daylight saving time in Georgia?
We do, yes.
So what time does the sun go down where you are?
Right now it's probably around 6 or 6:30.
Yeah. In Australia, it's about 8 o'clock at night. In Sydney, Queensland don't have daylight saving as well. But what interested me about how LA and all San Francisco was just so cold.
Yeah, that was some unusual weather for sure.
Yeah. What about in Georgia? Does it get snow?
Occasionally, it's a fairly rare occurrence, but with that cold snap where Texas got all the snow, we had one day where we had some flurries. However, nothing really stuck to the ground here. So we usually can get 1 or 2 days a year where it will actually stick to the ground. But it's usually, evaporated within a day or two.
Yeah. Also, too, I noticed things have calmed down in the US since Joe Biden's taken over.
Yeah, it's become just boring. But it's a welcome change.
And now what's next? Are they going to pick on Biden next? And, because I'm Australian, do you find in the US it just becomes a whole popularity contest over there?
With?
Politicians.
Well, yeah, it's hard to say. I've never lived in another country, so I'm not sure how it goes other places. However, the politics it's almost like another reality show. At least it was with the last administration, and so there's daily drama, daily things to talk about, and it seems to sort of take over people's mind space, and it's interesting. I have my own opinions on it, but I generally don't pay attention that closely to all of the dailies.
Well, no, and it's good that you don't Sonic Yogi, because it's crap.
Yeah, it's a distraction, and it I suppose keeps the mind occupied, but it's not really super useful for the most part.
No, and I noticed when I was last in the States, in San Diego, all you see is pharmaceutical ads on TV. It's very annoying.
You don't have those?
Occasionally, but it's not like every second ad bombarding with take Xanax or. I don't get that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't actually watch TV anymore, so I don't see them. But I don't have much to say there.
Nah, good on you. You just switch it off. Put Insight Timer on. No, but it seems to... Has things slowly started getting back to normal in Georgia?
In terms of?
Social distancing, and you still got to wear a mask. I know the vaccine's getting... They started giving the vaccine in Australia. How's it been over in the States?
We're starting to give the vaccine. I think people over a certain age, and then also healthcare workers and things like that. But everyone is still wearing a mask. However, with this new spring weather, it seems like people are ready to have this put behind them and get things back to normal.
Yeah, because I remember last year in summertime, people were still getting COVID-19 in the heat, which is really odd. Because you'd think it would spread faster in cold weather. You know. Yeah, it's just good to move on from 2020, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like things are shifting, and with the vaccine and some other changes that hopefully this year will be getting things maybe not back on track the way they were, but back to some kind of new rhythm.
Yeah, it's that's what we want, to move forward.
Absolutely.
You know. And you've got a live stream on tonight at your time as well?
Yes, on Insight Timer at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I have a live stream, and that's been a consistent time for me. So this month and last month, I kept that time and hope to continue with that.
How have you felt the live streams have helped you?
Well, I've enjoyed doing them. It's helped me to keep my creativity going. So I'm trying new music with each live, and then also, working to communicate and share some practices. And then I get feedback from the attendees. And so it's helping me to, hone and fine-tune what I'm sharing. And of course, I hope it's helping them as well to, use music to enhance their meditation practice.
That's so cool. Yeah, I like the live streams on Insight Timer.
I do too. I've really been enjoying them. I've been tuning in and checking out some other teachers as well.
But other than that, do you listen to other music in your spare time?
I do. Recently, not as much. I like other meditative music. One of my favorite composers is Stephen Halpern. And then I also like bluegrass quite a bit. There's a new artist in the U.S. and his name is Billy Strings. And he kind of fuses bluegrass with psychedelic jam band music, which is a little far out, and I like that. So that's kind of something that's not meditative that I've been enjoying.
I wanted to bring music up because, look, I like to occasionally listen to heavy metal, but can heavy metal be not very good for your mind at times?
That's an interesting question. I did read one study that said it really just depends on the listener. So I know that, the military's used it for almost to disturb people, so they could get them out of an area. And but you know, I think it depends on the mindset of the person too, and how the music is used.
Yeah, because I remember I had a doctor tell me it can be very loud, and then whatever lyrics they're singing about can make people depressed as well. You know, you got that band Slayer, and then writing about a bunch of, I don't know, crap and all that. That's what this and you know, I think for certain countries won't approve some of their stuff too. You know, I think South Korea and North Korea wouldn't, I don't think, let people play Slayer over there. It contradicts.
Wow. Yeah, I hadn't heard of that.
Yeah.
It's interesting. When I was young, there was a controversy with wanting to ban certain lyrics or ban certain CDs, and so they ended up having congressional hearings and things about it, and they ended up actually labeling the CDs if they had lyrics that they didn't think were good.
Yeah, he used to put the warning labels on the CDs. Eminem, he's got plenty of that, of those warning labels. Now you can just all access it on Spotify and all streaming now, which is just more easier.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need a CD as well. I know there was controversy with Jimi Hendrix and Elvis Presley.
Sure, yeah.
You know?
I think that, you know, one of my theories is that with each generation, the kids sort of want to do something a little notch up from what their parents did. And so each generation is something a little different. But when you look back at Jimi Hendrix or Elvis, it's hard to see anything that controversial.
Well, they had talent. Yeah. And don't forget the Beatles as well.
Yes, exactly.
Leave a legacy behind that people just will always remember. You know,
absolutely.
It's funny too because I'm a classical trained musician, and people always remember the name Beethoven, and Mozart is still played today, which is amazing. It's just amazing what music does.
Yeah, it's an amazing art form. That's absolutely for sure.
You know, and I found when I've meditated with the Tibetan singing bowls, it's just relaxing.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's one of the reasons I love them so much, and just the sort of oscillations and those gentle rhythms that they produce can help us get into that meditative state.
And you actually own a pair of singing bowls, do you?
Yes, I have a set, probably close to 20 right now.
Wow. And what are they made out of?
I think that it's mainly like copper or tin. But the legend is that they have 7 metals. And so I'm not an expert on how they're made, actually. But the legend is that they have 7 metals for the 7 different planets that they knew of at that time.
Because they are expensive to buy too.
They are, especially now. I think because they've become popular in the last several years, the prices have really gone up quite a bit. When I first started collecting them, I could find bowls for around $20 to $50 fairly easily. and then some wholesalers would actually sell them by the pound. Mm-hmm. And so you would buy like a pallet worth of bowls for a bulk price, and you wouldn't know what sizes or what the tuning were. You'd just get this bulk order, and then you could sort of go through and choose the ones that you like. So that was a pretty economical way to buy them, but of course you wouldn't know exactly what you were getting, and then maybe you could sell the ones that didn't fit in your collection.
Where do you buy your Tibetan singing bowls from?
I get most of mine now through Silver Sky Imports.
Yeah.
Which is an importer and seller here in Nebraska, and they have really the best quality that I've encountered. And so sometimes when you buy a bowl from a place, it might not be the best quality in terms of it might be hard to sing, or the sound quality might be that great. Mm-hmm. But I found that Silver Sky has really a great selection.
Yeah, and how do you look after your singing bowls and maintain them?
I don't actually do much personally. I wipe them down occasionally.
Yeah.
But they're pretty indestructible.
That's good. I wish all musical instruments were indestructible.
Exactly. Yes.
Be able to smash your guitar on the floor and it doesn't break. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, because Tibetan singing bowls are an instrument too,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's so cool that you have them, And like if you're recording bowls, do you have a specific way that you want to record them and mix them?
Mm-hmm. I usually record the whole set with a stereo mic. Mm-hmm. And so I'll just set up the stereo mic, usually overhead, almost like a drummer would put over their drum set. And then I just play and record the set on that stereo mic. Occasionally, I'll also use a single mic by one of the bass tone bowls. So if I'm, say, doing a root chakra track and the bass bowl is C sharp, I might use that single mic on the C sharp bowl, and then I can change that in the mix a little bit if I need to.
That's really good. That's really cool. So with chakra energy, I know that there's a different frequency of notes as well. I've seen on some of your work too, and then there's different colors of the human chakra system too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly.
Is there a reason for that?
Well, the colors are representative of the different grades of frequency. Mm-hmm. So they're essentially the colors of the rainbow. So you've got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet. And as you go through those colors, it actually increases in the speed of frequency. And so red light is a much lower frequency than each successive color. And so the frequency sort of increases. And so that parallels the musical idea of the chakras, which goes with usually a musical scale. So if you started, say, for example, on C, then it would be C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Mm-hmm. And so each of those notes would be a faster frequency than the next.
What's violet? Is that like a purple?
Yes, exactly.
I thought so. Yeah, because you got you got the root chakra, navel, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and the crown. Is it good to open the third eye frequently?
Well, I don't know if it's good or not good. I think that it's definitely something that is talked about as something in spirituality, and I think the main idea is that it is helping us to expand our perceptions.
Mm-hmm.
So by virtue of the fact that we're calling it a third eye, it's kind of like saying there's another avenue of perception that is opened.
Mm.
And so in terms of, expanding clarity, expanding insight, the idea is that opening that new avenue of perception can help us to adjust our own inner perceptions and see the world a little more clearly.
Yeah, that's so cool that happens as well. It's good to just open up chakras. I think when I've practiced it, I just feel more energetic doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I think, just over time, just with practice and patience, just things just seem to fall in place.
Yes, exactly.
And I think it's just practice and persistence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just practicing daily meditation, I think, is really important, and not necessarily with the goal of necessarily doing anything with the chakras, but over time, in general, those energy centers begin to open up as the body and the mind begin to relax and sort of recalibrate.
Yeah, well, that's what is good for you as well. And music that just calms you down. And sleep's very important. I think sleep is one of the most important things we need.
Yeah, absolutely. Sleep is very important for rejuvenating our body and our mind.
Have you ever been sleep deprived?
Yes.
It's not fun, isn't it?
No, it's not. And it's really key for your mental health as well, just getting enough sleep.
I remember in my undergrad days, just the late nights, not sleeping properly, and getting sick, cranky as well. Not concentrating, couldn't concentrate properly, relying on energy drinks and caffeine as well.
Yeah, sleep is super important.
Is it like we're told get to good 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night? I try to aim for 8. Try to go to bed probably 10:30, 11 o'clock. Get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm finding my body just naturally just gets up at 8 a.m. You see? Are you an early riser?
I used to not be, but in the last few years, I generally get up around the time the sun rises.
What about go to bed? You go to bed late, or you go to bed early?
Usually not too late. These days, probably around 10 o'clock is pretty average.
That's pretty good. Yeah, because I think you have a circadian rhythm. The problem is if you try to go to bed too early, you don't get the good quality sleep, I found. And then if you go to bed past I think it's past, say, 10 p.m., I don't know, it's a complicated thing. Health-wise, you don't sleep and then you got to wind down again.
Yeah, I find that getting to sleep early enough is key. If I get to sleep later, even if I get my 7 hours or so, it doesn't feel quite as restful.
Yeah. What about jet lag as well? Have you ever had to deal with that? Because I have.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Flying from Sydney to LA, because you're going back 19 hours. And then...
Wow.
What's the time zone in Georgia to LA?
We're on the East Coast, and so it's 3 hours difference.
Yeah. And have you dealt with jet lag before?
Yes. Not 19 hours worth. Usually flying back and forth across the country from East to West Coast, it'll take about a day to acclimate those 3 hours or so. And but that's not very hard.
I mean, everyone's different with it, Sonic Yogi. I just find when I was in LA by 8 o'clock the next morning, I just had to force myself to get up. I think it took about 2 to 3 days to adjust. But then flying from LA to Sydney, I found that jet lag wasn't as bad coming back home. Now you look at Australia. You got Western Australia. They're 4 hours behind Sydney. And Northern Territory's 2 hours behind. So even then, if I've flown to Northern Territory, body's got to adjust to it. So, and then you got New Zealand. They're 2 hours ahead of Sydney. Now, because I think jet lag it's just terrible.
Yeah, it's definitely something to adjust to. I've been doing some research on melatonin and how important that is, which, since you mentioned the third eye earlier, melatonin is actually produced by the pineal gland, and the pineal gland is generally associated with the third eye. And in some of the things I've been reading, it's talking about using the melatonin supplements to help the body get back onto a circadian rhythm with things like jet lag. But it's really important for our body to get the melatonin production, and there's several studies now that are actually looking at melatonin as a way of fighting viruses as well. And they're also studying how it could even prevent or help lessen the symptoms of COVID. So it's interesting how connected that all is.
Yeah, well, you'd rather take a natural melatonin tablet rather than sleeping pills, Sonic Yogi. Because prescription drugs, sleeping tablets can make you even more drowsy the next day.
Yeah, I've never taken those much. The 1 or 2 times I've taken them, it really didn't help me to sleep better.
No. Because I go to, you can go to a naturopath and just get natural, like a herbal sleeping tablet, too, which is so much better for you. Also, I think too, if you eat heavy foods before bed, will disrupt your sleep as well. No, I've noticed a lot of research has gone into like sleep hygiene lately.
Yeah, it's very important. So I can definitely see that.
Well, what about when you have a really hot night And you know, when it's too hot in the night, does that disrupt your sleep? Does that to me.
I haven't encountered that as much, personally.
If you come to Sydney in the summer, sometimes get 30 degrees in the night time. That sucks.
Yeah. And so 30 degrees is, do you know anything about Fahrenheit?
A little bit. What would that be, Fahrenheit?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I'll look it up now. You guys go by Fahrenheit, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be easier, I guess, if we were on the same thing. So I think most everybody else is Celsius.
Yeah. Or Australia. It's like you guys go by pound and we go by kilos. So that's about 86 Fahrenheit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's hot.
I know. I mean, if you went to the Northern Territory in the wet season, it's like that every night, every day. I know, I think in Florida, does it get quite muggy in Florida?
Yes. Hot and humid.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
See, Australia, you got Tasmania, it gets cold. Then you go up north, you got like a huge desert, Simpson Desert. Australia's a huge place. It's not like the States where 2 hours from LA you're in San Diego. It's like 12 hours from Sydney to Melbourne, or you can be in Queensland in 12 hours. It's a huge place.
Wow. Yeah.
You know. But I've been to the Grand Canyon in the States. That's a nice place to go.
It's beautiful.
You ever thought about travelling Australia in the future?
I'd love to travel to Australia. So, hopefully that'll happen at some point.
Have you ever been outside of the US?
Yes. I've been to Korea and Russia. I've been to South America and different places here on this continent as well.
That's so cool you've been to Russia, because I know their whole visa process is very strict over there. Was it hard for you to get a visa to go to Russia?
No, not that I recall. It was probably, I don't remember exactly how long ago it was, but it was a little while back, and I went for a music gig with my previous group. And we played for an auto show. And so the people that organized all of it, helped us navigate all of those things.
Yeah, Russia's actually one of the most strictest countries to get a visa. For an
I didn't know that.
Well, for an Australian, you gotta actually mail your passport to the embassy, Russian embassy, and it's like $300. It only lasts when you're in the country. I mean, every country's different, but that's what it is. They're very strict. You know, when I went to the States, I just was on an ESTA visa to go
What's
to.
that?
It's an electronic visa and does all your background check straight away on the computer, rather than doing it at the airport.
Okay.
Things have changed a lot.
Yeah.
But that's my experience with traveling.
Nice. And I assume you've been to Russia also.
No, I'd like to go to Russia too. That would be good. That would be good. Well, look, it was a great show with you today, Sonic Yogi. Where can people find you on your social media?
So I'm on Insight Timer meditation app as Sonic Yogi, and also on my website, which is sonicyogi.com.
Awesome. Always looking forward to more work from you on Insight Timer or wherever you publish it. So thank you for listening to today's episode of the podcast with Sonic Yogi. It was really awesome. Always looking forward to his work on Insight Timer and his meditations as well, so go and check his work out. Thank you to today's sponsors of the podcast, Grammarly Premium, vidIQ, and Amazon Music Unlimited. Just visit the links to find out more. Also, I am on a new social media called Web Talk. I've left a link in the description where you can follow me on Web Talk and engage with my content. Awesome. Cheers. Bye for now.
Hike the trail? Check. Order takeout? Check. Schedule heart checkup? Done. We've all adapted to a new way of living. Keep your healthcare on schedule with Johns Hopkins Medicine, where your health and safety are our highest priorities. We're ready to care for you through virtual and in-person visits across Maryland and the greater Washington region. Your health, our experts, safely caring for you. Schedule your care now. Learn more at hopkinsmedicine.org/safe.
The sweet aromas of the apple fritter, cinnamon roll, and blueberry muffin are hard to resist. So making it the rest of the way home without reaching in your McDonald's bag is no easy task. But nothing worth doing is easy.
Wake up and pair any one of these sweet, fluffy, frittery bakery treats with a McCafe iced coffee. Get any size and any flavor for just 99 cents until 11 a.m. Price and participation may vary.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.